You have it? All right, perfect. All right, so go for it. All right, Josh, you're the client, and Casey, you are the advisor. This is an ideal client, Josh. You've been working with him for 10 years plus, and he fits your demographic, psychographic, and you can set the meeting up how you want. If you want it to be over lunch or sporting event, just give us the framework, and then let's go for it.
Okay. All right. Do you mind if I just kind of set the some context here? So
Perfect.
what I've been doing is I've been meeting with a lot of my top clients. So Josh, okay, and this you're one of them here for a cup of coffee or lunch. I typically bring an agenda. Let's say there's 5 bullet points. The last bullet point of the agenda is it's what I call feedback and a little bit about my business. So we
Okay.
get to the end there, we get to the last bullet point, and I say, if you don't mind, I. All right. So you ready, Josh?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Um,
got the easy part, so I'm good.
okay. Fair enough. If you don't mind, I'd like to get some feedback from you and tell you a little bit about my business.
Sure.
Uh, just out of curiosity, is there anything that you think that my company or I could improve upon?
um, no, I mean I like how we talk on a regular basis. You return my calls, so I mean, hey, can you make the market do a little bit better than it has?
Absolutely, Josh. Absolutely.
All right, I want to hold up there for a minute there, Casey. So I think we got to let him know he's an ideal client first and build him up around respect that you have for him to start it off. It just sort of seemed like you jumped in and you said, "Hey, what can we do better?" Right? Let him
Okay.
know the context of he's an ideal client. Here's why he's ideal, and build him up. Build up that relationship. Make him compliments around how you appreciate him as an ideal client. He's a family man. Kind of tie it together with the respect and the ideal client pieces.
Okay. So the reason I asked that question, Josh, is because I started taking a look at a lot of my at some of my better clients, and I found that my ideal client, meaning the type of person that I'd like to work with, is is an exact picture of you. In a perfect world, I would clone you 300 times.
Well, that I had no idea.
Yeah, absolutely. But really, you're easy to get along with. You're open to my advice. You call me back. It doesn't feel like work. Oftentimes, meeting with you. At the same time, you fit my ideal profile, which is you're between 50 and 70 years old with a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle.
Okay.
So this is kind of a little choppy here, but and recently myself and 3 other guys we decided to form our own team within the company. Um, and then
Really?
I
Tell me more about that. That's cool.
sure this is a picture of us here, and this is like a promotional piece of promotional.
Sure.
So that I slide across the table. Um, this is us here. Our group name is the Philadelphia Wealth Management Company, and I'm still going to be your advisor, and nothing has changed specifically regarding your accounts. The main difference is that from here on out, we're going to provide our clients with a first-class experience.
Okay.
Um, Going forth, when you come into the office, we have a car cleaning service that's going to clean and vacuum the inside of your car. We have a 3-person secretarial staff that's going to pick up the phone on the first ring. If you need something, it'll be taken care of that day. Um, Throughout the year, we're going to have a few client appreciation events. Specifically, you're going to get an invitation. We're having a March Madness party on March 29th. If you're around, we'd love to have you. Please bring any friends or family. It's kind of a the more the merrier type event. Um,
Sounds nice.
and
Okay, so Casey,
why don't
stop for a second. Casey, on a level of 1 to 10, 10 feeling like you're talking with one of your best friends, 1 feeling like they're a total stranger, where are you on that scale?
like a 1.5?
Yeah, and we feel that. So
Okay.
now I want you to think about someone that's a really good friend of yours. It's like someone from the past that is a really, really great friend, and just kind of think of that about them, and what would that person's name be?
Okay.
Who is that person? Who's the person that's a good friend?
All right. One of my good clients is a guy named John, and
Okay.
I'm meeting with him next week.
Oh, and he's a really good friend and good client
And
too?
he's a good friend and he's a client as well.
Okay. Awesome. And his name's John. All right. So I want you to think about now when you think about John on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 him being a great friend and having an easy conversation, where are you now? 1 to 10.
Probably an 8.
Okay. Perfect. Probably an 8 or you are an 8.
I'm an 8.
Okay. Perfect. So I want you to think about that. So now you're getting with John, who happens to be Josh, but you're getting with John. But that state of mind makes a big difference in that if you've got the relational currency, or when you do, and there's a strong relational currency there, the conversation is really easy and it flows. So now start from the beginning and do it in that type of space.
Okay. Um, with that said, Josh, is there any way that you could act like you're one of my good friends or one of my clients? Not that I'm not giving you a hard time, but
Yeah, no problem, buddy. I mean, I can act any way
we
you
go
need me
way
to act.
back, Josh.
We go way back. Hey, man, how you been? How's it
Hey,
going?
great.
You know,
Okay.
I was irritated because I typically see you like once a month, and we went like 5 weeks. I can't take it. I need my Casey. What's going on? How you been?
Okay. I'm good, man. I'm good. Um, so so yeah, no, thanks for me. This was a great meeting. I do want to, if you don't mind, I'd like to get some feedback from you and just tell you a little bit about the direction of my business.
Sure, of course.
Um, Basically, I started taking a look at a lot of my better clients, and I found that my ideal client, meaning the type of person that I'd really like to work with, is an exact picture of you.
Wow.
Um, yeah, you and your wife. In a perfect world, I would clone the 200 of you. I would clone you 300 times. In a perfect world, I would clone the two of you 300 times.
Nice, but you know, my wife's one of a kind,
I know she is. Um, but really, you're easy to get along with. You're open to my advice. You always call me back. Um, and on top of that, we're good friends. Um,
Yeah.
at the same time, you fit my ideal profile, which is you're between 50 and 70 years old, and you have a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle, which is important. Basically, what I'm saying is that I don't know where I'm going with that.
Okay. Now that
Um,
was awesome. Huge difference at that point. Okay. So did you feel the difference, Josh?
Yeah. Yeah.
Night and day, right?
I think like this is one of those things. I think less is more. Like, hey, you fit my ideal client. You're successful. I enjoy spending time together. When I call you, you call me back. And you know what I mean. And let's assume the demographics are already there, right? I mean, because let's just
True.
assume people who are rich know rich people. And then you just go right into it. I think, my Casey, I think you're nervous for no reason. You have this relationship, and look, it sucks being put on the spot in front of these guys, but just chill, go with it, make it quick and easy, and it'll work. It works. So
Yeah. Perfect.
Yeah,
Great
I was.
advice. Awesome.
Um, so all right, so we're kind of picking up where we left off there. So right, but you fit my ideal profile, which is you're between 50 and 70 years old, and you have a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle. Um, and recently, myself and 3 other guys, we decided to form our own team within the company. So this is us here. Um, I'm still going to be your advisor, and nothing has changed with your accounts and your policies. The main difference is that from here on out, we're going to give our clients a first-class client experience. When you come to the office for an appointment, we have a car cleaning service that's going to clean and vacuum the inside of your car. We have a 3-person secretarial staff that's going to pick up the phone on the first ring. And also, check your mail. You're going to get an invite. We're having a client appreciation event. It's a March Madness party. It's on the 29th of March. If you're around, we'd love to have you. And if you have any friends or family, don't hesitate to bring them. It's more the merrier.
Sounds fun.
But on our end, 2 heads are better than one, and the team approach really allows us to bounce ideas off of each other. And as a result, I feel like I'm doing a better job of advising advising clients. You've been my client for 8 years now, and I can absolutely attest that I'm a better advisor now than I was 8 years ago. Just like you may be a better whatever you are, Josh.
All right, I think
better.
you're putting too much into it, Casey. Just chill out and roll with it. You're throwing too much out there.
Okay.
Can you hear me, Casey?
Yeah, Dave, we can hear you.
Yes, I can.
Yeah, so I think Josh's feedback was excellent. I think that the second time through at the beginning, you sounded more confident. But if you just look at the outline that Rich has put up, that's up now. Do you have a computer in front of you?
I don't. I'm just
okay.
Yeah. I'm just.
So I mean, the outline is very simple, and I think you're combining a value conversation where you're looking for feedback from the client with sort of a pitch about your new firm, and I'm just not sure you're mixing stuff.
Okay.
And I think if you just follow the outline, which is, you're complimenting, where you started, which is complimenting the client on what a great relationship you have and how much you enjoy working with. Then I think you skipped the part on gaining feedback from them about what they like about the relationship. I didn't hear that.
I agree.
Then you're going into the introductions. I think what you've done is you kind of told them how he's an ideal client, but then you took that into a kind of presentation on your new firm, and I'm not sure it fits here.
Okay.
So Casey,
and then the one other little piece, even at the beginning, I would just, like when you talked about duplicating him 300 times, I'm not sure I would include that part. I'm just not sure whether that sounds exclusive, the way you're trying to make him feel. I think you want to make him feel like he's really, you only have a handful of ideal clients and you're looking to grow your practice with other ideal clients. Just my feedback. Tell him you're taking on 3 to 5 new ideal clients this year.
That's right.
Right.
Okay.
I'm growing my business, but I want to grow it in a particular way, and that's with people like you. So I'm taking on clients, when I want to bring on maybe 3 to 5 clients just like you.
Okay.
Yeah, and the quick outline, Casey, is this. Just right. You got your pen and paper there, Casey?
I do.
Okay. So it's identify the ideal clients. So you've already identified them. That's number 1. Identify. Number 2, compliment.
Okay.
Number 3, gain some feedback. Then ask for the introduction. So you're basically, this is combined with 5, is ask for introduction using memory joggers. Who do you know at church? Who do you know at the country club? Who do you know at work? That meets what we talked about earlier. And then number 6 is qualify. Yeah. So get down to the short list now. Who really makes a great fit based on what we know. And then number 7, coach them on how to get the intro, whether that's through lunch or through breakfast or through golf or through coffee or whatever. You want to close the loop and create the intro. Okay, so that's the short list.
Okay.
All right.
Gotcha.
Okay, start it over again. Go for it.
Rich, let me ask you a question. I guess, are we at some point, I don't know how long these calls are going to last, the favorable introduction calls, how many more you're going to be doing. I've seen us do a lot of the scripting part up to this point. Are we going to dig into, maybe some of the best ways to qualify and then coach them? I just asked because yesterday I actually had an appointment yesterday with a client, and I got to the point of, hey, I had gone through your LinkedIn and I had identified these, people, and then he went through the list, and I basically fell, off the radar at that point. I couldn't get him to, it was well, let me talk to them. I didn't know how to coach him through. I think that's a big piece.
Okay, so you're saying closing the loop like on number 7 then?
Yeah, I mean, I don't necessarily want to move ahead of where we are. I just don't know how many of these call sessions we're going to be doing
Yep.
to
Okay.
get there.
That's fair enough. We'll hit that a little bit more here at the end for
Okay.
sure. But yeah, we got to close the loop on that piece and coach them effectively. All right, I like it.
Okay.
Was that Josh? Was that you talking?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, awesome. Good feedback. All right, Casey, hit it again now. It's your best friend, John, their client, best friend. Start with that mindset first. Go for it.
Okay. All right. All right, John. Yeah. Again, thanks for meeting with me, man. So
not a problem. The last time we saw each other, I think I had to hold your hair in the bathroom. So. You see, we're old-time buddies. Come on, Hey,
yes, we are.
So what's going on?
So I started taking a look at a lot of my ideal clients. I started taking a look at some of my better clients, and I found that my ideal client, meaning the type of person that I'd really like to work with, is an exact picture of you.
Really? I had no idea.
Absolutely. You're easy to get along with. You're open to my advice. You call me back. But also,
you mean everybody doesn't do that?
Shockingly, no. But also because you fit my ideal profile. You're between 50 and 70 years old with a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle. In a perfect world, I would clone you 10 times. I like the perfect world thing, but I'm open to suggestions.
Yeah, I mean, I had no idea. Hey, that's good to know. I like working with you.
Thanks. Just out of, I'm trying to piece together my thing here. If you don't mind, I'd like to get some feedback from you. Just out of curiosity, is there anything that you think that my company or I could do to improve your experience?
Well, when I call you, you call me back, so that's the big thing. I feel like I get the attention. No, I mean, you're responsive. When I have a question, you get back to me. I mean, if you can make the market do a little bit better than it's been doing, that'd be great. But other than that, I'm happy with, our relationship.
Sure. Okay.
I mean, I'm a happy client. Let time out real quick. I'm a happy client. Would you like me to have problems?
No. Not at all.
Okay. So yeah, no, I'm happy. Look, if we could get this market moving in the right direction, that'd be great. But other than that, when I call you, you call me back, and you do what you say you're going to do, and look, that's what I need.
Okay. Cool. I appreciate that. With that said, I was wondering if you could help me out.
Sure.
I'm looking to take on a few more clients like you, and I was wondering if you would mind brainstorming with me a little bit about someone that you could introduce me to that you think that I could help.
Sure.
Maybe a family member or a close friend, or maybe a former colleague.
I mean, you could certainly talk to Jim. He was, he's in the office next to mine. I don't think you want to talk to my sister. She would, I wouldn't trust her as far as I could throw her.
Okay.
But Jim would definitely be a good connection.
Okay. So and Jim's your colleague next door.
Yeah, he is the office next to mine.
Okay. Can you tell me a little bit more about him?
Sure. Just like myself, Jim's a tall, stunning, GQ type, tons of money,
Of course.
tons of money. I mean, just that highest level of success, just like me, of course. Likes to play tennis. I don't know if you're a tennis player.
I am.
Hates golf. Hates it. Can't get him on the course.
Okay. What do you think might be the best way to introduce us?
Well, I mean,
we could maybe grab a cup of coffee.
Yeah,
or...
it's up to you. Maybe we can grab a cup of coffee before the day starts, or we can go out to lunch. I mean, that's you tell me what you prefer. Wouldn't it be nice if they were all like that?
Sure. Would you mind maybe seeing if he'd be interested in grabbing a cup of coffee with the three of us?
Absolutely.
Let me ask you a question. If if you were to talk to him today about the cup of coffee, what would the conversation sound like?
Well, I mean, I would tell him I've been working with you for quite a while. While I know a bunch of people who are in the financial services industry, I've been nothing but pleased with the way that you have treated me, communicated to me, and you've got a lot of great ideas.
Okay. Great. Yeah, and it's important that I'm just trying to get an introduction. He doesn't necessarily have to be a client, and there certainly won't be any pressure.
Sure.
But yeah, I'd love the opportunity for the three of us to grab a cup of coffee.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. Set it up.
Okay. Sounds great.
Okay, awesome. Thanks, Casey. Thanks, Josh. What went well? What did Casey do well? Let's talk about the wins first.
Are you asking me specifically, or are you asking?
Yeah, Josh, or you or anybody else on the call. What did Casey do well?
Well, I mean, he told. Go ahead.
I was going to say we could ask what I didn't do well.
No, focus on what you did well.
No, we're staying positive.
Yeah, come on, Casey. All right, what else?
I mean, I think you flattered me a little bit by, look, I mean, I didn't know I was an ideal client, so I mean, that's cool. And then, you're looking at, in a perfect world, you'd have 10 of me. I like that. You asked me for feedback, but then you went negative. So, you got to be positive. What do you like? You didn't give me a chance to say what I liked. I had to turn in, I couldn't find a negative, so I liked you. That would be one area. But we're staying positive here.
All right. So, no, do you think that I should ask, instead of asking what, if anything, my company or I could improve upon, do you think I should ask instead what you like about my company or myself?
Well, I've talked to Tim about this. I think you should do both. What do you like? What do you like? What do we do for you that you like? What do I do? Well, you always call me back. You communicate with me. That kind of thing. Well, hey, what could we do to improve? Not what you don't like, but hey, look, what could we do to improve? Because there's always something. Nobody's perfect, right? And that's the way I would do it, and then go into, as I mentioned, I'm looking to grow my business selectively. Maybe this year, looking to bring on maybe 5 or 7 people just like you. Do you think we could brainstorm and maybe there's somebody that that I could introduce myself to, and provide the same level of service that I provided to you to them.
All right, so Casey, do this now. Flip over your notes.
Okay.
No notes in front of you. Okay?
Okay.
You have 30 seconds to go through the whole thing. 30 seconds. Go as fast as you possibly can. You ready?
Okay. Ready.
All right, ready, set, go.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for meeting me for lunch. I just wanted to just update you a little bit about my business. I started taking a look at some of my better clients, and I realized that my ideal client, meaning the type of person that I'd really like to work with, is an exact picture of you. Yes, really, Josh. If I could clone you 10 times, I would absolutely do that for a couple different reasons. Number one is I like you personally, you're easy to get along with, you call me back, you're open to my advice, but also because you fit my ideal profile, which is you're between 50 and 70 years old.
Okay, 30 seconds is up. All right, start over. Too much words. Go faster. Ready? 30 seconds. Ready? Go.
Hi, Josh. Thanks for meeting with me. I started taking a look at some of my better clients, and I figured out that my ideal client, which is meaning somebody that I'd really like to work with, is an exact picture of you for several different reasons. One is you're easy to get along with, you're open to my advice, you call me back, but also because you fit my ideal profile, between 50 and 70 years old with a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle. Just out of curiosity, is there anything that you think that my company or I could improve upon?
Okay, good.
No?
Better.
Great, thanks.
Better. So we had 30 seconds. I think too much around all those pieces in there. So do it again and just compliment him on, tell him he's an ideal client, compliment him, ask for a little bit of feedback, which will give you quickly, and then ask for some people that are similar to him. So instead of going through all those parts, I want to just get to the main big chunks here.
Okay.
Okay, so you got
all right. So just compliment, feedback, introductions.
Yep. Go.
Okay. Hi, Josh. Thanks for being with me. I started taking a look at some better clients. I decided that my ideal client is an exact picture of you for several different reasons. You're open to my advice. You call me back. You're easy to get along with, but also because you're between 50 and 70 years old with a comfortable amount of assets to support your lifestyle. Out of curiosity, is there anything that you think that I or my company could improve upon? Now, is there anything that you like that we do? With that said, I was wondering if you could help me out. Would you mind I'm looking to take on between 3 to 5 clients that are just like you. Would you be willing to brainstorm with me a little bit about some people that you could someone that you could introduce me to that you think that I could help? Maybe a family member, maybe a close friend, a former colleague.
Cool. All right, good. So that was about a minute. What did you notice different, Casey, when you did it that time versus before?
I just cut out all the.
Yeah.
Cut the fat, I guess.
Yeah. And then eliminate your script. So let me give you the 30 seconds. So
and there was passion in that, you know.
Yes.
Like hey, that you had that jump.
Okay.
Because you didn't have time to think. Because we all do that, man. I got notes and I got to try to cram it and I got to talk too much. But like the minute you forgot that I got to follow the script and I got to get this point across, you had the energy. And the energy, that's every time I'm convinced that energy is the key factor in everything that we do when we're talking to people.
Okay.
Yep. So just out of curiosity, so Casey, number one, I want to let you know, I really do appreciate that you're working with Pro Advisor Coach, and your passion for what you do is amazing. I mean, it really is. I mean, if we could clone your passion and how hard you try and go for it, it's incredible.
Thank you.
It really is. I mean, we really do appreciate it. Who at AXA do you know that you really respect that has that same passion? Who do you know that you really respect and has a lot of passion about the business?
Is Anthony Valerio on the call?
Yeah, Anthony Valerio, are you there? So how do you know Anthony?
I just know him from we've talked several times. I know him from just around the office.
Okay, and he has a lot of passion just like you do?
Yeah, yes.
Awesome. Do you think you could send an email to Anthony and to me with our content information on it that you mind if we connect together? Do you mind just sending an email and copying both on us, just kind of saying what you've experienced about Pro Advisor Coach and connecting us together?
Sure.
Awesome. In fact, I'll even send you some email verbiage if you don't mind, and you can just copy and paste it right in there.
All right, yeah, that's easy.
Did that feel comfortable? That was 1 minute, 31 seconds.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm making a mountain out of a molehill because, yeah, that was pretty simple, and I think I'm setting this up as like an event.
Yeah, and
where it's really just conversation.
It really is easy, and we went through all the pieces that were there all the way through the end. So, but you've got it. You've got all the stuff in your head. So by speeding it up, I think it's a good way to practice it, and then just add some calmness in there on top of it. So you're right there. It's just going to be that last ball bearing that falls when you turn the lock that causes it to drop into the place and the safe's going to open. You're right there at the cusp. Um, so awesome job. All right, let's flip it around. Josh, you be the advisor, and Casey, you be the client.
Okay.
So, Casey, I'm not sure if you're aware, but you're actually an ideal client for me. You're successful. You always return my phone calls. You're open to my ideas, and I enjoy the time we spend together. I'd like to ask you a question. What do you like about what we do for you, what I do for you?
Well, more than anything, I like you personally, Josh. I feel like we've hit it off since since you took over my accounts, 9 years ago. Yeah, I feel like I can call you and bounce ideas off you, and if I have any questions, I can just I'm not you know I'm not hesitant to call you, and I know that you're always going to call me back.
Good, good. Is there anything else that you think that maybe we could do better?
Um, I guess I'd like to maybe meet you in person more.
Okay. Okay. Well, we typically meet twice a year. What number? How often would feel comfortable for you? What would make that allow you to cross that off the list as something?
Yeah, I was just calling.
Maybe once a quarter.
Okay. Not a problem. We'll make that happen. Anything else?
Nah, man, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
happy.
Okay. So, this year I'm really trying to focus on who I'm spending time with, people like you. And I'm looking to bring on, anywhere from maybe 7 to 10 new clients this year that really fit the model or fit your mold. Successful, respect time, will call back, open to ideas, that kind of thing. Um, can we brainstorm for a minute on maybe who that would fit into that category that's like you?
Sure.
So,
Sure.
is there anybody that you work with that fits into that category?
Yeah, I guess I got a few guys I work with.
And what makes you think of these guys? What are their names?
Glenn is my lunch buddy.
Gotcha. And what about Glenn, brings him to your mind?
We live in the same neighborhood. He has 3 kids. I have 3 kids.
Gotcha. So you guys are a lot alike.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
Right. So those are the people that I'm looking to meet. You think it would be possible for you to make an introduction? You could do it either via email or maybe, I can buy the 2 of you a cup of coffee.
Sure. Or you can just come to lunch with us. Like I said, we usually go out to lunch once a week.
Next Tuesday or Wednesday?
How about Wednesday?
There you go. Done. Who else do you know? Let's go down the list. Keep going. If they were all that easy, though, Rich, right? I mean,
Yeah.
And there was even a little bit of faltering in my, like I had the script down, but then exactly where I said to you earlier that the gap is missing was where I started to falter. But they're never that easy, right? I mean, are they that easy?
I think it all depends on the relational currency. I don't know if I had told you guys that story a couple weeks ago about an advisor when I was an executive in the corporate world in Dallas, and I got a phone call in my office saying, this is Jay from Northwestern Mutual, and someone from church that said they highly respected you and that the 2 of us needed to get together. What would be a good time for you to get together on Tuesday or Thursday next week? And then I said, oh, they highly respected me, and we got together, and I was that person's 7th client, and I bought a couple $1 million of term policy at that time. Um, and I was the 7th client total, and I didn't even know who the favorable introduction came from. So I mean, the whole that's a really magic word, that word respect, because you can use it both ways. You're someone I really respect. I want you to know that. And it needs to be heartfelt. Like it's true with Casey, I really respect his passion. I mean, he's very passionate about improving and wanting to do better. And then I asked him, who else do you really respect? And how do you normally connect? So earlier it was about the tennis. And I said, wow, why don't, Casey likes tennis. And I said, why don't we connect to play some tennis? Or in this case, they're already having the lunch. How do you normally connect with them? Lunch. Or, sending the email, which I find is always an easy way to do that. So a lot of that comes from too, though, if it's easy to do that, it's because you have great relational currency. So if they really are a great friend and you have great relational currency, you got to question how much of this relationship is just business versus me really spending some quality time with this person. Because then I think it really is easy. I mean, if it's a good friend like John, that's a pretty easy conversation. Here's where I'm going with my business, and you're someone I really respect. And who else do you really respect?
Right.
Thoughts, comments, feedback? What do you think?
Well, I mean, I think it. Look, I think this is the way to go. I don't. I think it would be nice if we met with our clients and they would just volunteer names, but very few of them will. So it's got to be initiated by us, and then if we're going to initiate it, it has to be done the right way.
Yeah, because it kind of goes back to this. If you look at on the screen, how many ideal clients know they're ideal? I mean, it's less than 7%. How many ideal clients know why they are ideal? Less than 3%. How many ideal know that why you're unique or different? I mean, these numbers are staggering. Even this one, how many clients know you even want to grow your business? It's like 6%. I mean, how if they don't know they're ideal, they don't know you want to grow your business, they don't know why you're different or unique, how are they possibly ever, they can't read your mind. So it really comes down to shoring up these gaps. But I think a lot of advisors spend all their time on just the business side, the service side. How much time are you really spending really getting into their life? What's important to you? What's going on in your life? What do you enjoy doing? How much of those relational currency questions happen? Because when you're building relational currency around those parts, then and shoring up these gaps, the ideal client conversation is really easy. David, any additional feedback on that? Is David Carr still there? Okay. Anyone else? Eric, Nichols, thoughts?
No, I thought it was good, and I get it.
Okay. Let's have you role play then. You're the advisor. And let's have Adam. Are you there? Adam Holt.
Hey, Rich, before we do that, I have a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Last week I had this conversation with, I think, 3 different clients. It was a little bit different because they weren't actually ideal clients. They were clients of mine that I had, review meetings set up with. But I did, a variation of that talk. But, obviously I omitted all the stuff about, you're an ideal client, that type of thing. But I did ask them, if they would feel comfortable, introducing me to, a certain type of person, which I gave them, the demographics and, via email and copying me in on it. And they all said yes. They were all seemingly happy to do it. And I sent the sample language out to everybody. And now I realize it's only been a couple of days that I haven't seen any emails coming out yet. When would you and how would you follow up with people if they say that they're going to, but then nothing ever comes out?
Gotcha. Okay, so they said they would send the email on your behalf. and then they didn't do it?
Right. Yeah. And I mean, some of them were even, they were brainstorming names, at the meeting. So I know that they really do want to send it out. So I'm like I said, it's only been a couple of days. I'm sure they've just been busy and they haven't had a chance to send it out. But when would you, like, how long would you give people before you follow up with them, and how would you follow up with them?
Yeah, did you also ask them if they're okay if you send them an email with maybe some thoughts of what they could put and brainstorm some of those ideas with them?
Yes, I did. And then I sent them that email.
Okay, perfect. Okay, and then you send them an email and include in some things that they could say about you.
Right.
Perfect. Okay. So did all the right stuff there. Yeah, I'd say it's if you sent that out, a couple days, 2 days later, 48 hours later, say, hey, I sent that email out to you. Just want to make sure you got the email okay. And just see if you don't mind doing that follow up. That'd be great. So I just wait a
Okay.
couple days after it, or even the next day. I think while it's hot is a good time to jump on it. I think it kind of gets out of sight, out of mind with them. Um, but if they agree to do it and it sounds like they're, on that same page, then it's just doing the follow up with them to get them to connect the dots there.
Okay, great. So you give it like 2 or 3 days maybe at the most before you follow up with them.
At the most, yeah. If you send them an email and they don't do it quickly, then I think the next message is, hey, did you get my email? Just want to make sure you got my email, understood it, any questions, that kind of thing. Then if they still don't follow back up, then I'd wait probably a day or so after that, probably 2 days, and say, hey, didn't hear from you. Want to make sure you're okay. Are you okay? Make sure everything's all right. I know I sent the email and then I followed up with you and I didn't hear back from you. So I want to make sure everything's okay. You're doing all right? Then it's a place of concern. Like, certainly something
Right.
must be wrong because I sent you an email and I called you and you didn't call me back. So now I'm concerned about you. Just let me know that you're okay.
Gotcha.
You know. All right, so you
Good.
got 5 minutes, Eric. I'm the client. Go for it.
Oh, well, you want me to have the like the same talk that Casey just did, like the ideal
Yep,
client type?
you got it.
Hey, Rich. Thanks for meeting with me today. How's everything going?
Good, good. How are you doing?
Good, good. How's the family?
Good. Yeah, everyone's doing good. I'm excited to get this snow done with, but everything's going pretty good.
Yeah, I know. Us too. Hey, listen, I wanted to touch base with you today about something in addition to our normal meeting, reviewing your accounts and everything like that. Um, yeah, I've been going through my client base, and I realized that you are what I would consider to be an ideal client. I don't know if you knew that or not, and I just wanted to make sure I took some time to let you know that because I think it's important for you to know it.
Oh, wow. No, I didn't know that. Thanks. Why, what do you mean I'm an ideal client? What does that mean?
Well, it's actually probably a little bit simpler than you'd think. It's I really do respect you, and you're a good guy to work with. I enjoy our meetings together. You're easy to get along with. And you also, which you'd be surprised how rare this is, you take my advice and you follow up with me, and I just think that between being very coachable and just being good to work with, and then also in addition to that, having the sizable assets and financial security that you've worked so hard to have, those three aspects really, in my opinion, make you an ideal client.
Huh. Okay. Well, that's good to know.
Yeah. So I thought it was important that you knew that because sometimes you may not what seems obvious to me may not be obvious to you. But this year I'm trying to grow my practice, but I'm only growing it selectively, and I've determined that I only want to bring on new clients that would be similar to ideal clients like you. I was hoping you might be able to brainstorm with me, your business colleagues and friends and family who may be similar to you, regarding those attributes.
Sure.
Okay. Well, I tried to look you up on LinkedIn. A lot of times that's pretty helpful for people to come up with other people that they might know, but I couldn't find you on LinkedIn. Are you on LinkedIn, Rich?
I am on LinkedIn. Surprised you didn't see me on there. Huh.
Oh, okay. Well, maybe after we finish up the meeting today, we can link in with each other. But I couldn't find you. So, who who would you say that you work with that is similar to you that you really respect?
Oh, Jamie. Really respect Jamie.
Okay, who's Jamie?
He's one of my colleagues. We do a lot of work together, joint work, and on projects together.
Oh, okay, good. Anybody else come to mind at work that you think I should meet?
Yeah, Ryan would be another good one to meet.
Okay. And what about Brian?
Does a lot of good. He's a funny guy. He does a lot of comedian work and a lot of on stage type stuff. He's a really funny guy. Love hanging out with him though.
Oh, that's cool. That's cool. Now, how about outside of work? What do you I know you play a lot of golf. Who at the country club do you usually golf with on your days off?
Yeah, I golf with Brian quite a bit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Um,
let's see who else. John, I golf with John a lot.
okay. And is there anybody else that you can think of off the top of your head?
Um, yeah, probably Debbie. She's our office manager. She'd probably be someone that'd be good to connect with too.
Okay. Good. Well, I appreciate it, Rich. In your opinion, what do you think the easiest way for me to connect with these people may be?
Hmm. Okay, I'm going to stop you there just in relation to time. Awesome,
Okay.
awesome job. I mean, you're very comfortable when you're skinning around asking the questions. You are getting this big time. Um,
Good.
a few tweaks. I
Uh-huh.
would be more pointed around, like the whole brainstorm with me. I mean, you could just say, who do you know at work? Who do you know at the country club? Who do you know at church? Who do you know at, just go right into that space, I think, because it's just a
Okay.
conversation you were having with them, right? And then I liked it that you asked, like, well, what about them? You did that on the first person, what is it about them that you respect, or tell me a little bit about them? And I think you did on the second guy too. So I like that too, as you're kind of getting down to the short list.
Yeah,
Um,
and I just
Yeah, I like it a lot. And then I want to get to that place of the end, just like Josh was saying, is, or maybe you mentioned earlier, is that, what's the best way to connect with them? I would take that one person at a time. Well, what's the best way how do you normally connect with Debbie? You guys go out to lunch or da da da, and then with the
Yeah, and
guys.
I actually would have done that individually, but again, in the interest of time, I didn't. I thought I'd
Perfect.
just shorten it up.
Yeah, I like it. So how many favorite introduction conversations are you going to have this next week, Eric?
Well, I only have this week's a tough week, or actually, I know you're gonna cry for me, but we're leaving for vacation on Friday, so this week I've got some office stuff to do. I think I only have like 4 real appointments this week, but I'm gonna have that talk with everybody that I meet with.
Oh, perfect. Okay, good.
Yeah, I mean, I've decided why not, right? I might as well have that, even if they're not ideal clients, I can kind of give them, demographics of the type of person that I'm looking to meet and, ask them if they're comfortable sending out an email, and then I just shoot them some sample language and, maybe if I ask 10 people, 3 or 4 people will actually do it. It certainly doesn't hurt.
Yep. I agree. I think, and you can always tie them in with your junior partners, right? So they may connect with you, and if they're, if you don't identify that person as ideal client, you tie in with someone from the suite program or a junior partner,
Right.
because ultimately you're going to create more time, money, and fun by having 50 ideal clients or 100 maybe at the most, right? And I think that's a big mind shift because we think we got to have more is better, but less is more. And so you could, but that's a whole other conversation just to kind of think down that path ultimately is wow. if you only had 50 top clients you dealt with, to start looking at that. And I think I've mentioned the story about Donna before, where she's been trying to retire for 5 years, and she keeps cutting down her client base, and she's making more now and working less than she ever has in her career, because she just keeps focusing in more on her most ideal clients. So,
Right.
just some thoughts. All right, guys, awesome. And I'll be out there next week. I think we have a time set up for live next week. I don't know. Get that from Tim or David. I don't have it right in front of me, but check in with him, and we'll plan on seeing you guys in person in the training room. All right.
All right.
Have a good one, and
Thank you.
keep those favorable introductions coming. Later.
Great. Thanks, Rich.
Thanks.